Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today we will cover an interesting topic, that is tell me about yourself in interviews. So most of the time when you've been sitting in any interview, either you are fresher or either you are experienced person, then this is the first question they ask you, either for a technical round or management round, HR round. I mean, in all the interviews, this is the most common question asked. So why they ask this question, tell me about yourself? You might heard about this question multiple times in your career. The reason behind this is they are not interesting to know your history, like what you did, in which from which college you passed out, what you are doing in your project, because you mentioned everything in your CV. The reason behind this is the interviewer basically wants you to be a comfortable mode, because you are new to the interviewer, and in order to make the conversation more smoother, they just, so that you and interview will be on the same page, they just want to be on comfortable side, so that you will be more comfortable. That's why they ask you this, tell me about yourself. So the best way how we can answer it, I have divided this question into three parts. First is the introduction part, where you will introduce yourself. The second is achievements, and the third is how you fit to that particular job. So in detail, we will discuss each and every step with examples. And at the end of this video, I will share one bonus tip: what all things that you should not do in an interview. So these are the things which you do, like step 1, step 2, step 3, like introduction, your achievements, how you fit to that job. These are the things which you mention in an interview, especially when they ask you, tell me about yourself. But there are a couple of pointers which you need to avoid in an interview, which you should take care. We will discuss those things as well at the end of this interview. Yeah. So let's quickly start with introduction. In introduction, you can simply greet the interviewer by saying, hi, my name is Akash. I'm doing BTech and specialization in IT. So in this way, you can just give a brief introduction about yourself, that like maybe you are a fresher. In that case, you can say these things like, I'm pursuing MCA, or I'm pursuing BTech and I'm specialized in IT, computer science, electronics and communication, something like that. If you are an experienced person, then obviously you can tell them about your experience. The example is like, hi, my name is Bhumi. I'm an HR manager with 10 years of experience and specialization in recruitment and training. In your case, you can mention your experience and your skill set, like maybe you are an IT guy, so you can mention, I have 10 years of experience in Java development. I have done these kind of projects. My skill set is this. I have used these type of technology, something like that. A brief and short description, not a big one, but it will take at least 10 to 15 seconds. So in this way, you can start your introduction by just briefing your experience and a little bit knowledge about your skill set. So once you are done with this introduction, brief introduction, then you can go to the second step, that is achievements. So in your college level or in your organization, what all things, what all recognition awards you have done, you have achieved, you can mention here. Like what kind of trainings you have completed recently, which might help in this job. Basically, you need to take care of those things. You should mention the things which are relevant to this interview. Not like, I am a good cricket player. You should not mention these things, because you are not recruited for cricket or volleyball or something else. So obviously you can mention about your career point of thing, like corporate skills. If you have received some client appreciation awards, recognition, or recently you have completed some UDB trainings which help you in this skill set. I'll give you one example. Let's say the job is regarding React JS. So you can mention like, recently I completed this training of React JS and I have completed project in React JS, as well as I got the client appreciation in my last project or last organization, you can mention. So this kind of introduction you can give, or this kind of numbers you can provide in case of experienced person. But if you are a fresher, then you can say like, I have done these trainings, as well as I have completed these project in my college, where I learned the skill, like I am a team member, I recognized there as a project owner, as well as I explain the things. I coordinate with multiple teams in my project. So these kind of things you can mention so that your leadership skills, team member, coordinating with different team members, as well as your trainings marks. If you have completed these trainings and you got some certification and you got some marks, you can highlight those things. Like I got 90% in that training, I have completed that training last month. So these type of numbers you can mention here so that your achievements with respect to that job will match. The third step is how you fit to the job. Basically, these two things are related to you. And the third one, which is very critical, which most of the people forget most of the time, is how you fit to that job. Okay, you got these numbers, you have good experience, but how you fit to that job. I'll give you one example. Let's say this is a sales job. So in that case, you should mention here like I'm sales enthusiastic, as well as I'm sales person. I got the awards, as I got recognition. These things you can mention here, as well as you can mention like this is my passion, and in my last organization also I did these numbers. So this way you can give them proof like you are the best fit to that sales job. You can mention your numbers here so that your profile will be ahead from the other candidates. If you are a technical person, you can mention your skill set, or you can show them your Git repository here, as well as you can show them your technical enhancements like I have implemented these things in my recent projects. So here you are mentioning the numbers, but here you are mentioning the exact skill set. Let's say if it's a React.js job, then here your main motive should be towards React.js, to talk about React.js, how you learned React.js, how you are implementing in your project React.js. Basically, if you are providing these type of things, then interview will be more interesting to hear about you. In this way, your conversation will be more interesting. Else, if you are not following these type of approach, and if you are simply saying that I am this and I am working on XYZ organization, so it's a boring for interviewer also. They will just turn it off, and I mean they are in the listening mode only. It's not an interesting conversation, and most of the time, I mean 50 to 60% of interview will be ended here. Once you give the introduction boldly, then it will be interesting for interviewer as well as for you. Then they will get curious about to know how you are doing things, how you are performing in your current project. Then the conversation will go ahead. Then the technical things will come into the picture. So make sure you make the conversation interesting so that both the parties will interact, and in that way you will get more attention from the interview, rather than if you make it a boring, then it will not interact with between you and in the interview. They will bore and they will just pass the time, and after that they will give you some technical test or some other test and you will go. So make sure to use these type of things, like first of all introduce yourself, then show your achievements by data or by recognition. Third step is how you fit to that job. If it's a traveling job, you can say that I love to travel. Last month I traveled there. If it's a sale job, you can tell them their numbers, tell them their recognition, your appreciations. If it's a technical job, you can tell them about your skill set. You can show them your Git profile. You can show them your repo. These kind of things you can show so that they have more confidence in you. They understand that like you are the best fit here. So then only the conversation will go smoother. So these are the things you should take care while giving the answer of tell me about yourself. Now coming to the last step, that is the bonus tip or don'ts in the interview. These things you should avoid. First thing is you should have good eye contact for sure. Either it's a video interview, technical video interview, or it's a face-to-face physical interview. You should have very good eye contact. Okay, so most of the time you should have very good eye contact. Then only it's give a good message to the interviewer, like you are interesting, you are listening to him, you are interacting very well. The first thing is eye contact. Make sure you have good eye contact in both video interviews as well as physical interviews. The second thing which you need to take care is listening. Listening is very important. You should listen to the interviewer very carefully. You should not ask for, sorry, I didn't hear it, can you come again? These kind of things should not happen, because your primary work is to listen what he wants you to understand. First of all, listen, and then you can respond. And the third part is the grammar or English part. I mean, that's not primary thing, but try to avoid grammatical mistakes. Try to be more fluent in communication, and don't take too much pauses and other things. Try to be more fluent and try to communicate your things efficiently, effectively. Use more examples like, I have done these things, I have implemented these skills in my XYZ project, in my XYZ client. I got client appreciation there. But make sure, like, whatever you are saying, you should have relevant proof or relevant, explanation about that thing. Maybe in an interview, the customer will ask you, or the client will ask you, like, okay, you got the client appreciation, can you tell me about that client? So you should have very good knowledge, like, okay, I got the appreciation from a client that his name is Microsoft client, and I was doing that part in that project. I was doing this particular thing. So in that way, your conversation will go on smoother and smoother. So in this way, you can make your interview more interesting. And if you keep track of these things, you will easily you will easily crack the interview very easily. It will be applicable in all the skill set. Like, it's not mandatory for technical rounds or technical interviews. Even a salesperson, HR person can take advantage from these tips. If you follow these tips, definitely you will crack it. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, just hit on the like button. Do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Just let me know if you have any feedback. Let me know in the comment section. Thank you.